Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to announce the El Paso Independent School District's finalists for 2011-2012 Teacher of the Year. These nominees represent 91 campuses. They teach a variety of subjects including science, math, literature, geology, early childhood through second grade, and have experience ranging from 2 to 39 years. Tonight's winners will represent EPISD in the Region 19 Teacher of the Year competition. And now for our Teachers of the Year. Leslie Horvath in Teach is the Word.
The daughter of an elementary teacher mom and UTEP professor dad, teaching would seem like an obvious choice for Leslie Horvath.
Do you remember what sound CH makes together?
But this kindergarten teacher initially took a different route before entering the classroom. She joined the Navy. During her last duty station before retiring from the Navy, she found herself in the classroom providing training for fellow sailors. The need to reach her audience and ensure their success got her creative juices flowing, and she fell in love with teaching. So what does Leslie do to reach her kindergartners? Technology, technology, technology. Since cloning was out of the question and classroom sizes weren't getting any smaller, Leslie threw all her fears of technology out the window and dug her heels into some technology training and books. Since then, she totally digitalized her classroom, cut way back on paper usage, and has taken her students' learning beyond the classroom walls.
Gloria Flores is the magic teacher.
Growing up, Gloria's mother used to put all her dolls and stuffed animals in a row and tell her daughter to sing and repeat after her. That, combined with her mother's passion for reading to Gloria and her brother, planted in her a desire to teach.
Helpful, all right, you got it. A tadpole, that's right. To it. Dontrell? It's beginning to lose its tail. And what else is happening to it?
Gloria has been making magic in her classroom for 39 years. She finds that bringing out information and allowing students to share makes her students produce magic themselves. You never know where their conversation will lead every lesson. She regularly shares her lessons and ideas with colleagues.
Natalie Irby starring in The Secret Lesson.
The youngest of 12 children, Natalie's parents instilled in her and her siblings a host of family values. In her family, as her older sibling finished school, they worked and helped the next sibling complete school. As a result, all 12 had the opportunity to complete college.
You start thinking about which one you're going to do first. I need you to actually think. Do you see that one?
Her mother loved and had a special way with children, and Natalie followed in her footsteps, which led her to a career in teaching. Before coming to EPISD, Natalie spent 24 years teaching in inner-city Michigan schools and 2 years in South Carolina at a college laboratory school. For her, respect is key in her classroom. When she listens and relates to her students' experiences, she gains their confidence. Humor also plays an integral part of learning in her classroom. Natalie says she still relishes her childhood memories in them. I can still put myself in their places, she says.
The plant, you may choose that.
Crystal Johnston in The Magic of Teaching.
As a teenager, Crystal was impulsive and carefree. Not understanding of the importance of education, she dropped out of high school and shortly after found out she was pregnant with her first child. This was a pivotal moment in her life. Inspiring her to set a good example and give her daughter a better life, she enrolled in accredited coursework, finished high school, and continued pursuing higher education. When she received her master's degree, her daughter looked at her and asked if she was going to dress in a funny robe like hers when she becomes a pharmacist. She knew in that moment that she had set the example for her children.
Think about the cycle. Think about their habitat. Think about their diet. What do they eat?
Crystal is passionate about her second graders, whether it is implementing more visuals through technology with her visual learners or singing songs with her auditory learners.
Teach.
Okay.
Power teaching with her kinesthetic learners. She mixes up her lessons and is open to any idea that will help her students excel.
Okay, and you're gonna have very important jobs.
The Sound of Teaching stars Lori Garcia.
This first grade teacher was painfully shy and often overlooked as a young child. She was simply the little girl who fell through the cracks, an average CD student that has grown up to be a great teacher.
Good, good. Okay, and then you have, what is this?
Lorinda challenges her first graders with annual theatrical productions, teaching them about memorization of lines, songs, scripts, and scenes.
Stand up, stand up. Need 2. Need 3. Need 4. Energy. Need 5.
A plan.
Very good, very good.
This tears down the walls of inhibitions and battles against disbelief, fear, and despair, and restores it with boldness, strength, and above all, laughter and joy of children.
Well, what does this flower start off with?
Lorinda takes into account each child's individual learning style. They can be whom they are, with their differences appreciated. Respect is expected. Students feel free to take risks and are encouraged to ask questions. The stage is set and the doors are open to a community of learners.
Pull the petal off, Eddie.
Marlena Honholt in Hunting Knowledge.
Marlena became a teacher because of her high school physics 1 and 2 teacher, Mr. King. She was amazed at how he continually was able to draw her interest and make difficult subject matter easy to understand. Because of his teaching, she developed a passion for physics. Ironically, Marlena now teaches with her mentor, Mr. King, at Andress.
Somebody pop that in your calculator for me. Now, the minute I touch him, the charge goes into my hand. I can't feel it, of course, right? The charge.
Marlena tries to develop that same passion for science among her own students. Walking into her classroom, you won't find a cookie-cutter high school class. Students are constantly making connections, working together, and participating both in discussion and lab-like activities. As for the teacher, Marlena is singing songs, deriving memories, and telling stories to help students make those connections. For her geology students, she focuses on the geology of El Paso to bridge ideas with history all around them. Her classes take field trips to multiple locations around the city to observe science that is in their own backyard.
Jennifer Wilhite, starring in Teaching Writers. Her story, her words.
Her story starts in a small mountain town in Idaho, where her mother's passion for books, father's love for teaching high school math, and some bad television reception led to this top teacher's exploration of the Rockies and literature.
So you're going to draw the design out first. Just get some ideas.
Teaching was a calling for Jennifer almost since birth. Commissioned to teach her younger brother and tutor a sister with learning disabilities, she found that teaching held her heart the tightest and plunged into the public classroom.
Here's the plan for today. I'm going to come and give you your scenarios. You're going to look through them. I've given you 3. You only have to pick 1. Okay, lay Angel on the floor and do the same thing. There we go. What do you guys think about Angel, draw the picture. You don't have to describe it. Draw it.
Jennifer's lessons are engaging and academically demanding. A blend of humor, entertainment, and expectations of excellence weaves a didactic spell. With an amazing understanding of her audience, carefully planned, appealing lessons, her students thrive completely under the love spell of learning.
Women, ride horses. He was like, oh, I didn't know I could do this stuff. Wow.
Amy Gregerson in Teacher Forever After.
Amy Gregerson in Teacher Forever After always wanted to work with children. Reading became a passion for her. It was her source of traveling the world without leaving home. Amy became a teacher to share the gift of reading with children. For her, the secret to getting students engaged in the classroom is planning, and making sure that the topic of the day is relevant to their lives.
They're going to ask you a specific question. Why do they call it sunshine and sun? You have to be prepared because you are going.
The final requirement? Always treat students with dignity and respect because you get what you give. Amy teaches a varied student population with varied abilities. Many of her students are low readers and have struggled with the educational environment their entire lives. When these students are placed with material that is appropriate for them, everything else falls in place.
And quite often you have these really, really bright kids that are just struggling with their reading, and it's not a question of IQ, it's not a question of background experience or vocabulary or background knowledge. They should be doing well. And I'm getting ready to test a senior who's college bound.
When you allow a student to meet with success, self-esteem and attitudes change almost instantly. This is her goal with each and every student.
Libyan Beatty in Breakfast at Richardson.
Growing up, Libyan never thought she could be a teacher because she knew teachers were people who could do the impossible. Teachers were people who knew everything.
He's not seen as an autistic kid. He's seen as a what? Savant. He's what? They call him what?
Once she had her son, she realized she was his first teacher, and she would be willing to do whatever she could to see him not only be a successful person, but be a good person. Soon, Libyan realized that she not only wanted that for her child, but for every child she encountered thereafter. That epiphany led her to become a teacher who doesn't know everything, but who works pretty hard to make sure that her students do. Her classroom is not your typical place of learning. It's a home, a castle, a planet, a universe. It is a world that is recreated every day. What she and her students do differently or unique is that they teach each other. Libyan also allows her students to exhale and embrace who they are so that they can become who they wish to be. Her goal each day is to inspire, motivate, and educate, not just her students, but herself as well.
Eddie Rivas in Rivas, 2012.
This leading teacher discovered his passion for helping kids while working in the juvenile detention system. He changed careers nearly 3 years ago and is making a difference with his students at EPISD.
How are you doing? What's that machine? How are you all doing? Grounds. Add some color to it, okay?
His innovative teaching style immerses his students in a 21st century 100% paperless classroom where lessons are presented and turned in online.
Remember, add some color to it. Make it a lively graph. Be original.
Students use in-class blogs to enhance their spelling, vocabulary, and communication skills. By using this technology, Eddie is teaching his students to be self-sufficient by researching or probing for answers themselves.
These are the elementary and secondary finalists for Teacher of the Year. Every day, our top 10 teachers set the stage for excellence in their classroom. They are passionate about teaching and making a difference in the lives of their students.
Okay, go ahead.
Congratulations to our finalists and all the campus Teachers of the Year.